What's good, YouTube? This is Chris is So Pro here, coming at you with a new segment that I'm gonna be titling Cards That Need to Be Banned. This first episode, I went ahead and made a choice, but I'm gonna ask later on that my viewers, or my very few viewers right now, make the next suggestions. Basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna talk about a card that's out there right now that I think should be banned, and it's obvious enough and has enough things that I can compare it to give me a few minutes to talk about it. Let's get into it. The first card that I want to talk about, well, the only card in this segment, but the first card is Drag Down into the Grave. Basic rundown, you and your opponent each look at each other's hands. Point 1. Select one card from each other's hands and discard them to the graveyard, and each draw one card. There are a lot of things wrong about this card that have been on other cards in the past, like the look at each other's hands is kind of dust shoot-ish, and selecting a card from each other's hands. Well, basically, your opponent gets to look at your hand and take a card out of it. Even though you get to draw another one, it could have you could be going for they could be going first. You have a very important card in your hand, and they get rid of it. That's just like Trap Dust Shoot, and it also gives you another card. You get to draw a card. That's kind of cool. Another card that I think this is compared to is Confiscation. This card is on the ban list because you pay 1,000 life points, look at your opponent's hand, select a card, and discard it. This card does the exact same thing, except it lets your opponent draw the card and get their card back. But one thing that we have to look at with this card is the one deck that people run it in. It's Dark Worlds. They basically get the pluses with their Dark Worlds. It's a confiscation that allows them to plus. Because what they do is exactly what Gravekeepers do with Royal Tribute. They set their hand, and then go Royal Tribute, and they basically leave the cards in their hand that can't get hit, and leave it so that your opponent has no idea what you set. But since you have to discard a card from your hand, your Dark World monsters get their effects, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. It's Confiscation / Trap Dust Shoot with a plus / I guess you could call it kind of Royal Tribute. So that's basically it it's a confiscation, it's a dust shoot. Already it meets 2 of the cards on the ban list, and it also lets you get a bunch of effects with it. Now, card destruction, I guess you could say card destruction could go on this list too. Like, I honestly think something should go with card destruction. I think it should be banned. I know Dark Worlds aren't too big right now, but the point of this is that some of the rogue decks have just the stupidest cards in them. Like, Dark Worlds just draws the entire deck, it draws into its answers, and can still fight back. I mean, you can play a bunch of cards from your hand, and still have a full hand. Yeah, this video is kind of a rage against Dark Worlds, but that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. If you have another card that you want me to review, please comment down below, and I will tell you whether or not I think it's ban-worthy. Peace out, guys. Rate, comment, and subscribe.